I honestly get a better view of fights a lot of times from watching it at home. The experience of watching on pay-per-view is fucking great. I mean, they always get to the right angle immediately. It's never like, sometimes I'll look up and, Herb Dean's right in front of me. I can't see what's going on, or someone's in a post. Sure. I don't know what's going on the bottom. Like when A.Belcher and Rousimar Palhares went at it. When they first went to the ground, I didn't know that Belcher, he instigated that position from the shot. He's the one who pulled him into that position, and I didn't realize it. I thought that Palhares was diving on him because I couldn't quite see what was going on. So you do sometimes get a better view of a fight from watching it at home. And sometimes you get hyped up in the moment too. It's hard to.
And off topic, but speaking of Belcher, Dana gives a fight of the night. Fighter of the night easily was A.Belcher.
Yeah.
Palhares is scary. He's flat out scary. Nobody wants to fight him because if it doesn't go well, you're going to sit out for 6 to 8 months.
He's going to rip your legs
Yeah,
apart.
it can go really, really bad.
For the folks who don't know anything about the UFC or jiu-jitsu and you're just listening to this podcast, Palhares is one of the weirdest specialists in all of the UFC because his number one thing is ripping guys' knees apart. It's terrifying.
Weird build, weird technique,
huge Hulk-looking dude.
Yeah, short,
5'8", and just built like a brick shithouse, and just dives on your leg and rips it apart.
Yeah,
horrific. The way he wins, people are screaming in agony.
Yeah. And, Alan did a great job.
Amazing.
I was happy for him.
He dove right into the fire.
Palhares win, too, because, of his backstory, everything he's overcoming. He's a great story, too.
Well,
but
I'm a huge fan of technique. And Palhares' technique, it's not just his physical strength. His technique is masterful. The way he laces up leg locks on guys. The way he hit Macenzio. I mean, the way he laces them up, it's so pure. There's no fat in that technique. I'm a fan of that, but I'm also a fan of a guy like A.Belcher who just figures out how to deal with it. I love that. I love that he just works specifically with guys like Dean Lister, and instead of saying, well, we want to avoid this, he was like, fuck this, I'll go to the ground with this guy. I don't care, I'll go to the ground with him.
Right.
And I think he blew his mind by doing that. I think Palhares
he blew mine.
He blew mine. When he started going for the twister, I was like, if he taps Palhares, this would be the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, because he talked about that in his interviews leading up. I'll go to the ground. I'll put him in an ankle lock. And it's like, sure, how many guys say? And then he went out and did it. I mean, he didn't go for the ankle lock, but he went out and did it. He backed up what he said. Good for Belcher. Belcher's had moments where I watch him and go, you are amazing.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
And on a bad
too.
night, he's still very good. But on a good night, that guy's amazing. Good for Belcher.
Yeah, and he's had some tough times, with his detached retina he had for a while, which is very scary, To imagine, I mean, you're a professional fighter and you start to lose your vision because of fighting, and so they have to repair your eyeball, and then, you have to have the confidence and the courage to go back out there and keep throwing leather and letting people punch you in that surgically repaired eyeball.
Yeah.
So he was off for a long time.
I mean, you know how hard you have to work to make up that ground of those 6 months you lost, and now you got another 4 before. You got to work double time, triple time. It's incredible.
Just to catch up. How long does it take just to catch up?
So happy to see Belcher doing well. Yeah, it takes just to get back to where you were.
And no improvement in technique, no improvement in conditioning, just to try to catch up. How long